Hello and welcome to Getting Candid with me, your girl Helen. Today my guest is beautiful Salma. She went a bit quiet and we're all wondering like, what is happening, Salma? What is happening? Then she came back with a bang. I think you guys have seen the video, Phiri, and that's a bang. Let's get chatting with Salma on the other side. Welcome back. I mentioned that I'll be chatting with Salma and we are about to get free and just talk about everything that is happening in our life. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Long time.
I know, when did we last chat? 4 years ago?
I think that was like 4 years ago. When I came to your
so,
house.
yes.
That was like
to my family home, my childhood home, yeah.
Yes, that was like 2016, I think.
Crazy.
That's a long time.
It's a very long time.
It's a long. What has been happening? What has been happening?
So much. I think, I remember you interviewed me on my anniversary the last time.
That was your anniversary,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and I think it was, yeah, if it was that far back, I'm not sure whether we had our daughters yet.
You had? I think you had.
Tiana.
Yes, I think you had one
But since we've
daughter.
had Cheyenne,
I haven't, yeah.
the apple of our eye, the kasuli of the family, so.
She has your eyes.
She does?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Dodia eyes have, that's where I won with my kids.
Yes.
Otherwise, Mr. Shikaposha took over, the kids look more like him. But yeah, just nurturing my family, raising my kids, having my kids, because once I got that ball rolling, I was like, hey guys, let me just have these children, get it out of the way, and then, you know, focus on my career and have the time that I want to be able to do the things that I want to do. And then, yes, what's been happening behind the scenes for the last 2 years, really, is just me working on new music and so discovering myself. Okay,
so as much as you were not like so very active with him, but you were still working behind the scenes.
Still recording, yeah, discovering my true sound, which has been a wonderful journey for me, because I felt like I've had a great 10 years, but at the same time I feel like I haven't been completely true to myself in terms of how I've been creating. And so I needed that, like, okay, let me take a step back, let me not have any output, because I don't want to put out anything from this point on that isn't like truly Salma.
Yeah.
And so I needed that break. I needed, like I said, to focus on my family. My daughter was very young. And I just felt like, let me come back when I know, and I know, and I know, and I know that this is exactly the sound I want to give people.
Nice. So what's the sound? How can you describe your sound now?
It's R&B, it's Afro dancehall, and a fusion of all three. And that's kind of like the direction that I'm going in. I've always loved dancehall music. When I was in like my early 20s, in my prime, like, you know, all the memories that I have going back and thinking of how music is a soundtrack to my life. We were dancing to a lot of like R&B dance hall back then.
I
remember
like the Sean Paul's.
Don't talk about that. Shout out to Cactus.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I just feel like dance hall has always been like a second genre for me, and I haven't been able to fully explore it.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about the tracks that I've done that are kind of on that side, but then still being very R&B, because R&B is like my first love.
But I would agree with you on that, because I think Non-Stop, is it Non-Stop?
Yes.
And I think it's one of your best songs.
Thank you, thank you.
It's one of your best songs, and it was dancehall, R&B.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of sound you're talking about.
I feel like if I had to like categorize them, I would be R&B, dancehall, and then Afro, like Afro soul, or, you know?
Yeah.
So things like 10 Years, Kakale Balika, those are kind of the kind of Afro songs that I feel fit my brand, they fit my sound, because they have a very melodic way about them. You know, 10 Years is like very gripping, you know, like you're bearing your soul, and R&B is very much like that. So yeah, it's more of an R&B, Afro dancehall fusion. And yeah, I'm excited for it, because I feel like people who have not heard me like this.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, okay, this is interesting, you know. So yeah, I'm really excited.
I'd like to know how you managed to balance, because as much as you took a break and you wanted to be take care of your kids, you were still working. How did you manage to balance being a mom and still work? And I remember, I think there was a time you went live on Instagram talking about this, because a lot of people were asking.
Yeah.
How do you manage to strike a balance and also being a wife?
I think it's God's grace for the most part, because I don't like have this drawn out plan of how I'm going to, you know, balance everything, all the different roles that I play in my life.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, you know, there are seasons for everything. And so like my downtime, number one, it was a season for me to be a quiet creative. But the advantage is then I got to be a more present mother.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't in the peak of my season or my cycle.
Yeah.
And so I guess it's just saying like, okay, what's a priority now? Is my family a priority now? It doesn't mean music stops. It just means that it takes a back seat or we approach it differently.
Yeah.
So I'll use this time to say, let me be a present wife, let me be a present mother. And in the background, music is being made and, you know, music videos are being made. And so you're not out there, you're not on stage, you're not performing, you're not on tour, you're not doing interviews and press and all of that. And then I just juggle it that way. I say, okay, in my downtime, it allows me an opportunity to be more of a family woman. And then at some point we're gonna have to switch. And then like now I'm, you know, heavily trying to make sure that I promote. And that requires for me to be a little bit absent.
Yeah.
But I think just like in a 24-hour day, I always make sure dinner time is our time. I make sure that, you know, we have fellowship at night, because as believers, I want my children to grow up knowing that mom and dad first said, like Jesus Christ is our best friend. And so we have like every evening we have fellowship with our kids. Every day as they trickle in from school, because they have different timetables, it's like, how was your day? What happened today? And they have those conversations with us, and I feel that even if I'm not always there to play board games, even if I'm not always there to take them to go and hang out, I'm present, you know?
Yeah.
And the same goes for marriage. Like, we just have to keep on dating. We're fortunate that we work together, so we see each other often, but yeah, it's just, you know, it's God's grace. You just have to be like, God, help me balance everything and try and be the best version of all these different Salmas, you know?
Okay. Yeah. Nice. Okay, so let's just take a break and we'll continue chatting after this. All right, we'll take a break. On this break, we are doing our next big thing. We haven't done it in a long time, so let's just check out who our next big thing is after a long time. All right, welcome to our next big thing. We had mentioned, we mentioned in the opening that we're having our next big thing. Of course, we haven't had this segment in a while, but we thought we should bring it back. And after bringing it back, our first guest is Haggai Rock, a gospel artist. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm very much fine. How are you?
Good. Welcome to Getting Candid.
I'm honored to be here. Thank you very much.
Okay, so quickly, this is just a segment. We just want to get to know you a little bit, and we believe you're the next big thing, and so we just want people out there to also know that there's fresh talent out there, and if they're looking for fresh talent, fresh music, they may just start following you and get to listen and love your music.
Yeah.
So when did you start doing music?
I started doing music way back in 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, since 2012 I've been around.
Yeah?
I've been making music.
How has it been?
It's tough, but you have to be emotionally ready.
Yeah.
Because not everything is as easy as it seems, because you have to be ready for anything with this industry. But thank God we're still here and we're still pushing.
Is music your main business?
No.
Okay.
I'm a marketer by profession.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So what's the biggest challenge that you faced so far?
The biggest challenge actually I've faced so far is sometimes trying to get some artists into your project. Find, yes, you talk to the managers, the other time they're off. So at times it's a bit a challenge, but you have to be diversity. You have to continue cultivating for other opportunities and who you can get at the particular time. Yeah.
Oh, how far do you, first I want to know what inspired you to start music?
Actually, there are a lot of things that inspired me.
Yeah.
Starting from home, actually, I'll talk about my father. Yes, and then the other thing is...
Your father is musical?
No, he's not musical, but he's kind of a parent who supports whatever you have, as long as it's making sense, actually. So the time I was coming out, it wasn't easy. Coming from home at a young age, attending a musical show in the evening, it was very hard. And actually, I'm glad I had a parent who supported me during the journey, though it's not easy to let your children be out there in terms of musically. Nowadays, Zambian parents, when you're an artist, it's very, I don't know how they look at it, but it was tough, but good part had the support from home.
Okay, so how far do you plan to take your music?
Actually, my music, I want to create music for the soul. Music that will take time to disappear on the scene. Music that will stand the test of time. Even though I won't be here for how long, only God knows, I want to create the art, the craft that even the next generation will be able to say, okay, this is music.
Why gospel?
Why gospel? I'm a Christian who is an artist.
Okay.
Yes. So you always represent what you are. So I'm a Christian, like I said, so I represent who I am in my music. I speak what I am.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, just give us a line from one of your songs.
Ati tefyamba mpepere niresande pepa ifishinga naratwaririra tapare fyonshetere no ifikansanga jona kunindi iveka njendere itokomenero timuka iye nandi vapere vauze vapipo kuti Yesu akari kupemaye ndana shusha ndana kana muja mumanda mulibe Romans 1:16 sindiri kuchita ndi manyazi usandiwoneremo ngati shoni ndi maziro.
Nice. Okay, so thank you so much. So guys, that is why we brought him here. Do you think he's the next big thing? Let us know in the comment section, and do follow him. Just give us your social media handles, because people want to know what you're working on. They want to listen to your music properly. So how can they find your music? Yeah, actually I have a new song that is coming out. It's called Dukamba Chan featuring Yellow Dove. Okay. Yeah, it will be coming out by the end of this month. Nice. Yeah, on Facebook you can find me, it's Hagai Rock Nation. On Instagram is the Hagai Rock. Okay. And then on Twitter is Hagai Rocky. Yeah. Do you have a YouTube channel? Do you have any videos? Yeah, on YouTube it's the Hagai Rock. Nice. So you can check out on his music, follow what he's up to. He says he's releasing a new single month end, so you can follow that up and make sure you don't forget. So just follow his channels, his socials, and yeah, get to know him and let's support our new talent. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for having me. All right, guys, so we continue with our chat with Salma. Welcome back. So that is our next big thing. So do follow him on social media platforms and just see what he's about and you can give your opinion about it. So now we continue chatting with Salma, aka Phiri Phiri. You got used to people calling you that, eh? I did, and I don't think it will ever go completely. It's just there for good. I mean, that's how I came up, you know what I mean? That song started my career. I have to honor the fact that that's the single that made me Salma. That's when, like, I personally know you. I'm like, oh, who is this girl? No, I was very fortunate because I think, I don't even know if Jordan realizes the opportunity he gave me. Yeah, and to be honest, how did he pick you to do this song? You know, after Concrete Mixer, the director at the time was like, oh, do you know that this girl actually sings? You know, obviously when the edit was done and, you know, you're showing the artist, okay, this is what we've done with the video. And then he was like, oh, really? It's like, you know what, I'm looking for a female vocalist for a song. So how does she sing? Blah, blah. Oh, she's, you know, she's packageable, you know, she looks the part. Okay, yeah, you connect us. And that's how we got into studio. Nice. And then, you know, we worked with Rado, and obviously after that we did Overtime. Yeah. And so those two projects came out of Rado's production. Nice. Yeah, but you know,
I honor Kapilipili because I don't think I will forever be Salma Kapilipili.
Yeah.
I know that.
That's good. That's good. So now you've been quiet, and just last week you launched a new video, Phiri. Tell us about that. It's a very beautiful video. Firstly, to start with, the photos were bomb.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, it's been a while. And because it's been a while, I was like, when I come back, I need to come back. It needs to be a comeback. And so, yeah, we thought through the photography. We were like, no, we're not going to be screen grabbing from the video. We're not going to be doing my screenshot and trying to get a picture or a thumbnail or a no. We're going to take the photography just as serious as the video production. So for still photography, obviously we had RJ photography, who's Ryan Banda, amazing photographer. Like, I don't know what is in his, is it a retina or like the way he sees the world?
Yeah.
He's just his lens, not through the camera. Him, the way he sees things through his own eyes and appreciates that, okay, if I shoot like this, we've done so much work together. I can't wait to roll out like everything else because it's even more stunning than what we did for Phiri.
I can't wait now.
Yeah, and just, you know, working with Luenje on wardrobe, like she's just
So you gathered
out of
a
this
whole
world.
team. Like, do you know how many people you worked with?
In terms of collaborators, we worked with Ryan Banda for photography, Luenje for wardrobe, Zala's creativity for set design, Tivo Shikapasha, obviously, for directing, and Afrinique for all my hat and all the headpieces because she's an accessories girl. And yeah, if we talk about like, those are the collaborators, but if we talk about everyone, I think we had about 30 people working on this project.
Wow. That is something that
Yeah,
for
about
me,
25 to 30 people.
For me, I admire that. We see that like when you watch, I like watching a lot of documentaries and behind the scenes. So you see a lot of like these other celebrities, musicians, or even just talk show, they have a whole team to work with. How easy is it to put together a team? Because I think most people will say, I'm failing to put up a team because I don't have the capacity to pay them.
Yes.
But also, I think it's worth it because we saw the results from that video, the photos. We can see that there was a lot of work. Obviously, this one is doing whatever strength they have and they're doing their thing. How easy is it to put together a team and bring out?
I mean, I think if people trust your vision based on your previous output, it's easy to get people on board to support you and collaborate with you. And of course, not everything comes for free.
Yeah.
Even in collaborations, there are logistical things that we have to be able to cater for Ryan, for Mozala, from Zala's creativity, for Luenje, from Luenje. Like, there are certain things, yes, you meet each other halfway and you say, this is going to be our spend, but how are we working collectively to reduce the cost and see the collaboration as a bigger thing than having to pay everybody, you know what I mean, exactly what they deserve. Because they all deserve to be paid their rate. They're all amazing and experts in their different areas. But I think I've set a precedent of putting out quality work. So I found it easy to be able to have conversations with people because I've proven that I can do it even when I didn't have them.
That's true.
And so it's almost like it's an honor for both of us. You know what I mean? When I approach somebody, I say, I want you to use me to show the best version of what you can do. And so use me as your muse, or use me as your guinea pig. Use me, you know, to be able to try this new concept. And just presenting something that they feel is out of this world. Like, for them, it needs to be like, I do stuff every day, and in their different fields, there's an aura of monotony because there's certain things they shoot, it's all the time. Like, for example, you know, like if Zala from Mozala's outfit, like if she's always doing weddings, if she's always doing kitchen parties. When a music video is presented, it's like, this is so different from what I normally do. I'm excited for it. You know, it's something fresh. You look at the concept, you look at the storyboard, and you're just like, I can't wait to do this. It renews your passion. And the same for Ryan. I feel like him coming onto a set, you know, people are not that elaborate when they say, I want to do a photo shoot. So you don't have this big, grand, like very rarely do people come. They're just like, okay, I'll have a prop here, I'll this. But when he walks into a full production, he's like, I have so many goodies to work with here as a photographer. And yeah, like Lwenje, for her, she just thought, wow, I was just gonna get pictures, but now I've got movement, you know, because you want to translate this into video. And so beyond just a great picture and a great photo shoot of you in my clothes, I now have what is a lifelong display of my work through Salma. And so mine is always to collaborate, to say, how can I make sure that our collaboration has the same longevity that it has for me? It should have for you.
Okay.
And so I ask people to bring their best foot forward and be like, do the most, like, according to the storyboard, just let's go insane. Like, let's just make it amazing, so that even for you, you're walking away and you're saying, this was a moment in my career.
You're also happy.
Right.
So how do you ever, like when you sit down with Tivo and you're coming up with these ideas, do you ever disagree to say, I don't want to do this?
All the time. All the time, you know? And that's the beauty of being creative, is that you have the ability to say, I liked this yesterday, I don't like it anymore.
Yeah.
Of course, that can come with expenses, because you need to be sure when you're shooting that, okay, we've now decided this is what we want, because you know, it takes a lot for production. You're in production, you know what it takes. Yeah, it's something that we hash out months before we actually action anything. And it's good for us because it helps us refine the idea more and more and more, and then we eventually stop bumping heads, and then we're like, okay, we're working together, you know what I mean?
Okay, I want to know how you came up with the song Free. What's Free about? What's the message in Free? And
Free is like my statement song. Starting my new decade. I've been doing this 11 years now. So starting my new decade.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
That's huge.
Thank you. So yeah, last year was 10 years. And so this was my first year in my new decade. Been making beautiful music behind the scenes, creating amazing visuals. And this was a song that I wrote because the passion to want to liberate myself from what the industry wants from me, what my supporters want from me, what my peers want from me, what I put pressure on myself to do, and like, you know, I said to myself, no more. I said to myself, I need to be liberated in order to be an advocate for other creatives that need to be liberated. And it's something I'm extremely passionate about. It doesn't end here. It's a song. People will be like, okay, you spoke your truth, and then what? My plan is for this to be a lifelong vocation. I feel that even when I've hung up the mic, so to speak, I need to be impactful for my industry. And so I had to be the one to speak up about it, because I feel like there are so many underground artists or people who are less fortunate than I am. Their careers are stifled because of certain industry things, gimmicks, you know, just plain old mainstream that just won't give them the time of day. And then they tend to bend to start creating things that are not truly who they are, just so they can fit into some kind of mold, that this is Zambian music, or this is what you should sound like, or this is what you should look like, and this is the route you should take. So Free is about the liberation of creatives. And
now that you're explaining that, I remember what you said during your video premiere about LJ Mojo. Just a lot of us, and I should say I was amazed when his massive talent. He nailed it.
He's amazing.
Yeah, and I was just thinking, where is this? Because when you're running the promos, and I tried to stalk him, I went through his social media. And who is this guy? Who is this guy? But when I saw now what he did in the video, I was like, wow, much respect. You talked about underground artists, and just maybe people would like to know where did he come from? How did you find him?
Yeah, LJ Mojo, I said this yesterday as well, was just, he was a breath of fresh air for me. Not only because he's new, which is also not exactly true, he's just not mainstream. Okay. You don't hear him. He's been around for a while.
Yeah.
He has such a big following that, yeah, it's not, his engagement is not high. He doesn't have the most followers. But the people, like, I remember putting up a status and I said, his name is LJ Mojo, thank me later or something like that, because I wanted to be like,
yeah.
I was mind blown by what he did on my song. And I was like, people need to know about him. And then the feedback that I got from that status, I was like, where have all these people come from?
Yeah.
They know him, they know Mutale, they know Moko Moko,
He's
which
the
are like
Mutale
his...
guy?
Yes.
Oh, no, I loved that song.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know. You know, all these years, I remember I used to love Mutale No. But I just never knew who did the song.
Yeah, that's
like,
LJ Mojo.
Oh, nice. So he's been around.
Yeah,
then.
he's been around, and he's just so talented, and Phiri wouldn't be as impactful for its message if I didn't have someone who's actually struggling from that side of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Because there's the whole spectrum. There's me here and all my peers who have made it, and we are top of the league or whatever, and we also feel stifled. We also feel boxed. We also feel trapped, you know, in doing certain things in the industry or creating the way we want to create.
Yeah.
And then there's this whole spectrum till you get to LJ Mojo's side, which is an underground artist. Nobody knows him. He's not getting airtime. He's not, well, nobody knows him in the sense that, you know, you're asking, oh, but I know Mutale, no, but I don't know the artist.
You don't really know him.
Right.
know him.
And so we're now representing everyone on the track. If I just spoke on my own, it would stop somewhere here.
That's true.
In terms of being relatable. But now we've opened, it's like everybody is now. Why? Because I'm speaking on this end and LJ Mojo is speaking on this end, and that way we're speaking for the whole industry.
Yeah.
And so I was going to put the track out just by myself. Very last minute. Very, very last minute. Tivo said, LJ Mojo, honey, LJ Mojo is like, he fits. Give him a shot. Let's send him the track. If it comes back, great. You know, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Can I just tell you how excited I was when Tivo sent me the verse?
Yeah.
And it was on WhatsApp, and I was just like I was like, what?
Wow.
Like, this is seriously him?
Yeah.
And he was like, yep. And I was just like, tell him that I am amazed. Like, this is I never expected it. I heard his tracks and everything, and I know that he had the potential, but I didn't know whether he was going to deliver for this project. And he exceeded my expectations.
Nice.
And I think that it's divine. Like, God wanted us to sing this song because we have a job to do.
Yeah.
For that spectrum, we have a job to do. And so LJ
No, that's
Mojo
good.
was a blessing to this project, really.
So what next after Phiri? We want to know. We're eager now because...
you know, Tivo needed to be here telling me, you're not allowed to say anything. But he's not. So, well, like I said, I've been recording a lot of music. A lot of music. And I'm really, really proud, Hellen, of how much I've put in to what's about to come. Because I think Zambia waited long. Africa's waited long, the world has waited long to really see Salma Sky, and I'm ready to show you, you know, and I feel like you said, I needed the downtime. I've had a lot of unfortunate life experiences.
Okay.
You know, I lost my grandmother, I lost my brother, and I just thought, you know what, all this has happened because yes, God is, you know, has all the answers, and I trust Him even though they're painful times. But it's built me to be strong for this moment the same way my career has, you know, the industry every personal and professional hiccups have made me strong enough to now put out this material.
Okay.
So I'm really excited because it's going to be great visuals from still to video, campaigns that are just like, wow.
We are waiting.
I'm
We're
so
keeping our
excited.
fingers crossed.
So
We're waiting.
there's a lot more music and a lot more different things, not necessarily just music.
I don't want to reveal
that
now,
are
but
coming out.
yeah.
But it's gonna be such an amazing 10 years. My next decade is really mine.
Nice.
Yeah.
I can't wait, and all the best. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Let's not wait for how many years? 4 years?
No,
4 or 5
I
years?
have to be back on the show at least once a year.
True. We should do that. And say hi to your kids. I see you're very playful with your kids, eh? That's very good.
Those are my besties. So yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you so much for coming. Alrighty guys, I hope you enjoyed this chat with Salma. If you haven't seen the video of Phiri, I'm sure you can check out her YouTube channel and you will see the video. Very beautiful video, very creative, and that's what we want to see. When you see it on Trace Africa, you're actually proud that it's Zambian. So from me, your girl Hellen, bye-bye, and keep subscribing to the channel. Thank you.